Today we're going to talk about Dundee. This is one of my all-time favorite Omaha neighborhoods. It's historic and it's full of charm, and it's also famous because Warren Buffett lives in this neighborhood still today. My name is Morgan Putnam and I am a local real estate expert. Let's get into it. Thanks for stopping by the Omaha Insider YouTube channel. Please take a moment to subscribe so you're always the first to know what's going on in Omaha. First, I want to talk a little bit about the location of Dundee. Dundee starts around about 47th Street and then goes to about 56th Street and a little bit beyond, and then Leavenworth to the south and then Western to the north. And again, this is kind of just the general area of Dundee, but when you're talking to folks who live in Omaha, they will talk about Dundee as a little bit of a bigger area than what I just described, but that's kind of the general area where it's at. And it really just hugs close to Dodge Street, which makes it very appealing since Dodge is one of the main east to west thoroughfares in Omaha. Dundee is one of the few Omaha neighborhoods that has a preservation society that is dedicated to making sure that these homes stay historic and that people honor the heritage of these homes. You'll find a lot of different styles of homes in this, but a lot of them were being built in the turn of the century. So we see a lot of Tudors, colonial revivals, and a few Foursquare. There's also a decent amount of craftsman bungalows in this area, and people just really have a sense of pride for their homes. Dundee is just known for having its tree-lined streets and a little bit to a lot of walkability in this neighborhood. And we just don't really see that in a lot of Omaha. And so that is something that appeals to a lot of people when they're considering Dundee as a neighborhood. There are a lot of sidewalks and an ability to walk to the main Dundee strip that's on Underwood. This is a neighborhood that's popular with all types of people. It's popular with families, professionals, folks that have lived there for decades and decades, as well as a decent amount of rental properties in this area. There's just a lot of vibrancy throughout this neighborhood while maintaining its old charm that it's the perfect mixture of new and old, with people that bring a lot of energy to the neighborhood, but then also have based in this historic charm with these gigantic trees that have been there for decades and decades. It's a perfect mixture of modern meets old. At the center of Dundee, you'll find Memorial Park, and it is a war memorial, and it is also a huge sledding hill. If you ask the kids in Omaha about Memorial Park, they'll be talking about it being a sledding hill before they're going to be talking about it being a war memorial. But it is a large sloped lawn, and you see it off of Dodge. And so Dundee kind of just is based all around Memorial Park, and then Memorial Park is also across the street from UNO's campus. So there is just a lot going on here. There is obviously a big professional scene with professors that teach at UNO, and then you'll also find Elmwood Park right next to UNO. So it's all of these different parks, and it bleeds perfectly into the homes that almost feel like they're in a park-like setting because so many of them are so well preserved and their landscaping is gorgeous. Especially along Happy Hollow Boulevard, which hugs Memorial Park and part of Elmwood Park. A lot of these homes are very large. These were the very large, expensive homes being built at the time, around that turn of the century time frame, and they are obviously still large by today's standards. There are some things that you kind of, if you're interested in this area, you might have to compromise on, like obviously closets being built back then are not up to what you'll find in West Omaha in the suburbs. You're not going to find these massive walk-in closets unless it's been heavily remodeled, as well as a home with a ton of bathrooms, like we also see in new construction. But what they lack in those things, they really make up for in charm. A lot of folks have really done the work to make sure that these homes are preserved and have not necessarily done anything to rip out the charm of the homes. People have usually embraced the original woodwork and the floor plans and have updated them thoughtfully and mindfully to make sure that they still honor the past but bring them up to some modern standards as far as like plumbing and electrical. The Dundee neighborhood is a part of Omaha Public Schools, and it also is close to some Catholic schools, and then it's also Brownell Talbot is at the absolute heart of Dundee. So this is a private school that has a great reputation in Omaha. It's also very expensive, but it appeals to a lot of folks who live in the neighborhood who want their kids to get the most elite education that money can buy in Omaha, and that will be at Brownell Talbot. And it is in Memorial Park. So it really is right up against Memorial Park. So it's that perfect Dundee location. And for folks who send their kids to the local elementary school that's in Dundee, as well as Brownell Talbot, you'll see them walking to school. And this is something that you don't necessarily see in a lot of parts of Omaha because the homes might be a little bit further away from the elementary schools. But you'll see a lot of folks just walking around because these neighborhoods have sidewalks. Is in a time when developers were prioritizing things like sidewalks, and it's cool to see them still being used today, and people taking advantage of living so close to a school. As I've mentioned, Dundee has a little bit of a business district, and I wouldn't say business as much as like small business, like restaurants. It has an adorable little strip, and it's on Underwood Ave, and it includes a lot of different restaurants mostly. There have been some boutiques that have come and gone, and some that are still there, but really it has a lot of different restaurants as well as an ice cream shop. My three personal favorites are Pitch Pizza, which there's a Pitch Pizza location also way out west, and then there's an Amsterdam falafel. So good. Please go there. It's delicious. And then if you're looking for a good brunch spot, Good Looking is also in Dundee, and it's a Omaha staple. This is very much so a dog-friendly neighborhood. You'll always see a lot of people out walking their dogs in this area, and people just taking a priority to make sure that they're getting outside. Dundee has an amazing central location. Omaha can really get to downtown really easily, as well as the airport, and it has great proximity to Creighton University, as well as University of Nebraska at Omaha and University of Nebraska Medical Center. So there's a lot of different opportunities. If you're wanting to be close to an educational institution, this is a great central location, as well as all the businesses in Midtown and downtown. And it doesn't take that long to get out west, but this is going to be a little bit more of a drive time to get to a business that's based out west, but you will be going the opposite flow of rush hour traffic, which would make it a little bit easier. As far as the specific real estate market in Dundee, it is a very hot market. Homes tend to sell really fast. As I was saying, people tend to take really good care of their homes in Dundee, and so they tend to sell pretty quick. Even in a market that might be a little bit harder to be a seller in, people find this area to be very desirable, and so homes sell really well. The average sales price in Dundee is $475,000 over the last 6 months, and we are in 2025 right now. And the most affordable home that sold was $146,000, and that was a condo, and the most expensive home that sold was $1.1 million. And so you'll see that there's really a big array of prices in Dundee. People, though, overall tend to take really good care of their homes, and so that makes them sell a little bit quicker because they tend to be fully updated, which is what people are looking for in this current market. If you have any questions about Dundee or any other Omaha neighborhoods, please do not hesitate to reach out. My name is Morgan Putnam, and I'm a local realtor, and my phone number is 402-720-9886.